So the other day we were seeing database connection using descriptive programming. So I explained you guys, right, how this piece of code works. You create object connection, record set, and their string variable, all of which are dimension variables, dim variables. Then you establish the connection, database connection, using this method, and you open the record set, and then you open the particular database. So here the database name goes here. Then you write your SQL query and you open the record set with SQL query. That means it will run the SQL query and it will fetch all these results, and then you run one by one, record by record, in the while loop, and then you fetch, you move to next. That normally does the job of going to the next record, and you complete the record until you reach the end of the file. So then that's it, you close the record set and close the object connection. So that's a function, and we call this function in anywhere. So example, we have taken like this: computer is overloaded, hide all webcams and stop sharing webcam if you're doing so. Okay, so then we call database function we have created using this particular function. Just pass the parameters. First one is total DNS, and then second one is a SQL query. Simple. So yeah. Okay, so we will see the execution of this. I hope this works. This system is damn slow today. So I am going to open the test. Oh, there you go. I have it here. I should open it. Hold on, it's opening, so I don't want to disturb it. Okay, let me see if anything are running. We have to close it here itself. Memory Acrobat Reader is taking. Okay, that's okay. G2. Okay, I'll close this. Go to meetings. Oh, that's a go to meeting, right? Chrome. I don't need a Chrome, so I'll close it. Outlook. At least it will fill some space. Explorer. Okay. Okay, it's still opening the test. I don't know why it's Okay, now let me open. Okay,
अपन को इंतज़ार करता है एग्जीक्यूशन कैंसिल अपन को इससे बता एग्जीक्यूशन कैंसिल बताइए ये करूँगा इसके दिया
hold on, it's opening. Yeah, if I do it's inside the virtual machine. It's taking time. Okay. See, that's why we have to close all the applications. Okay. So this is the database connectivity program. So I have to go, yeah, here we are calling the database connection. So basically we are calling, the function is residing somewhere else, right? So that is sitting in the library. So I will just run it this time. Okay, so this is the number 1 record, it's fetching, and John Doe is the first cell value, and his flight date or whatever, flight number, and record number 2, Sangam. So it will fetch all. Basically I am trying to message box all the records from the database. No, it will go until those many number of records. How many number of records are there, it will go to all those records. So basically you have to click OK. Okay, so this is, there are many records in the database, right? For the, we are basically checking in which database, which table, orders table, right? So okay, number of records also it's shown. Last time you asked the question, right? Number of records was showing as -1. So there were 19 records. At the end of it, it showed the number of records. So let me go to the code and show it to you how the modification was done. So okay, let it open the test result. So basically it's a pass. There were no errors. So its pass is done. Since we are not putting any record reporter dot report event, it's not showing any pass. So let me close this window and open library. So the same library we are using for the database connection also. So in the library I have just appended the function for connectdb. So what I have done is, no, they are there. Huh? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
మీ మాట వినిపిస్తున్నా, మాట వినబడుతుందా మీకు?
No. వినబడట్లేదు. సోమో, you are there?
యా, సోమ కూడా డౌట్ అడుగుతున్నా, నేను కూడా డౌట్ అడుగుతున్నాను.
Okay, I didn't hear you because you are on the mute, right? You have to unmute. You are speaking.
లేదు, మ్యూట్ లోనేమో.
Okay, talk now. No. I have high volume. Volume is high. Okay, try talking now. Okay, మాట్లాడు.
యా సంగం.
మాట్లాడు, వినిపిస్తుంది. ఏం లేదా?
ఫోన్ వినిపిస్తుంది, వినబడట్లేదు.
ఓకే, ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగు, మాట్లాడు మళ్ళీ. అందులో స్పీక్, ఇది కట్ చేయి, ఇది కట్ చేస్తున్నా, అందులో మాట్లాడు. ఓకే, హలో, కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ? హలో, స్పీకర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ కమింగ్. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ కనెక్ట్. హోల్డ్ ఆన్. హలో, ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే, గో ఆన్. హలో,
సంగం.
yeah, now I can hear you. I just switched to telephone and switch back to mic. Okay, go ahead, talk.
సంగం.
Go ahead and talk. Okay, speak up.
సంగం, ఆ మధ్యలో ఎన్ ఎందుకు వస్తుంది అని అడిగాడు, లైక్ సోము.
Okay.
Displaying n in that records, like. Yeah, I kept on asking why it is displaying n.
Okay, I didn't hear
You're
you.
asking what-
Which n you're saying? Which n?
While you were running the program, right, you were displaying n so many times.
Okay. That's what I'll explain it here. This is the program I executed, right? So the program is in here we have written the function for database connectivity, which is connectdb, which takes two parameters, connection string and connection query. So while calling this, we are passing the connection string as the first argument and connection query. Connection query is simple. Select star from orders. That means orders table has 19 records. It will fetch all the records, and that's why it is taking time. Here I am trying to message box all the records. So that's why here in the for loop 0 to n-1 I am message boxing all the records. So which are basically running from 0 to n-1. Matlab means it's running on all the records starting from 0 to n-1. Okay, now let us see. Hold on. So here we are creating a object connection, same as in the theoretically whatever I explained, I am explaining the example. So that is a DB connection is created, and then record set object is created, and then I am opening the connection using this object connection. First record count is I am setting 0. That means I am initializing the record count to 0. That means initially there are no records. Okay, then I am opening the record set. We have to open the record set before going into record set. That's mandatory. Now I am creating a variable n in which I am just putting a number of fields in that particular of database records that are fetched. So n is nothing but if particular database orders, if select star from orders fetches 19 records, it will store 19 in n. So that's a count. Count is a method. It automatically fetches the number of fields in that particular record set. So moving forward, so that is the n. So n is nothing but number of records. Object record set, move first of all you have to start from the first record, right? First record, so that move first, go to the first record. Now I am using the do until loop, and I am putting a condition like object record set until object record set is not reached end of the file, you continue the loop. That's what I am saying. So inside the loop I am using the for loop because the number of records are many, not just one. So now how many number of records are there? I have already known n. N is the number of records, n is the number of fields, right? So here I can start with 1 to n, but array start from 0. So 0 to n minus 1, which is the n number of records. 0 is the number 1 actually. So you have to stop at n minus 1. So that is the starting point. N minus 1 is the ending point.
What will happen if I start 1 to n?
1 to n, it will skip the first record. It will start from the second record. Then nth record does not exist, right? It goes to the beyond, and at the nth record it throws the error. I think last time it has happened. So the mistake we made was we started from 1 to n last time. So you are missing the first record, which is a 0th record, and you are going to the nth record, which is not existing, which doesn't exist. So basically it will throw an exception there in the last. So that's not.
Either first record is 0.
Yeah, the arrow starts from 0. So you have to start from 0. Since the total number of records is n, you have to end at n minus 1. 0 is a counted as number 1, right? So if there are 9 records, 0 to how many? 8. If there are 10 records, 0 to 9 is the 10. Number of records 0, 1, 2. How many are there? 0 to 2 has 3 numbers, right? 3 values. So if you want to end at n, then you have to end at n minus 1, since you have started not from 1 but you have started from 0. Okay. So this is the result you are seeing, message box while execution. What I am doing here, what I am displaying, object record set, which is the actual record in the database field, starting from field number 1. So J starts from 0. 0 is the first record, first, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on all fields. So until 9, until 19, whatever number of records are there. So
no,
here
Sangam, it was also displaying a capital N. What is a capital N?
counter n. Okay, let's come to that one.
Capital N.
Capital N. Okay, let's find out that. Let's see. N is the, I think that is a value in the database. It won't display unless it is not there in the database, right? Database must have n. That's why it is displaying the text.
It was displaying every time. It should not display.
Okay, let us see. Don't worry. So here record count, I am adding record count minus 1. So what is the record count? First let us see record count I initialize to 0. Record count is initialized to 0. That means no. First that is my value 0. Start from 0. Now every time it moves to next value, I am incrementing to 1 by 1. Record count becomes 1 until it move next. Again second record, it records count becomes 2. So once it comes out of the loop, you have the exact number of records in the record count. So here number of columns, it is displaying as n. So what is the number of columns? And number of records, record count n. I think you are seeing this n, right? Ampersand n means it's, I am concatenating with n. So probably you are seeing this one. Is it right? Small n or capital one?
Capital N.
Capital N. Okay, let us find out. If it is a capital one, it should be the value in the database. So why? Because we are only message boxing 3 values. One is object record set, another is number of columns n, third one is number of records, record count. So basically the ampersand is for the concatenation. Last time I misspoke, so Gautam corrected it. Ampersand is for the, it's not for the variable, it's for the concatenation. Okay, now that's it. And once
What? కంటెంట్నేషన్ అన్నాను కదా సంగం, అసలు కాదన్నారు.
Concatenation of strings. This is a string, right? And this is a variable, so you have to concatenate with the ampersand. That's concatenation. In some languages they use plus sign.
కరెక్టే కదా, కంటెంట్నేషన్ కి కదా ampersand.
Yeah, this is a concatenation. In VBScript it's a concatenation. In Java, plus is a concatenation. So there is differences. If you know multiple languages, that's the problem. You get confused. So this is what is a concatenation? To answer Soma's question, here this is the string. Here this is a variable. It might have number, variable, string, or whatever. If you want to concatenate two different entities, you have to use this symbol. So once you open, whatever you opened, you have to close. Record set must be closed, connection must be closed. Then it's a good practice to set it to nothing, object connection to nothing. That means the memory location that is allocated for this particular variable will be completely closed, which is a basically good idea. Okay, now let us run. You have to run this test, not the library. So here we are calling, right? Okay. Okay, so in this here select star from means it fetches everything, right? So if you just want to fetch one order number, okay, that way we can keep it to minimal instead of taking a lot of time. So let me go ahead, order underscore number. So we are fetching one single column. Okay, let it be. I think the column name is maybe different. Okay, let us go into this. What? That's okay, space is okay. Okay, hold on. I think this we have made it generic, right? So let us go stop. Okay, so that was error because it was generic. So this is the record number 1. John Doe is the name of the person who actually booked that flight on the date, and the record flight number or something. Record number 2. So this is the name of the person. John, yeah, Somo. This is the name of the person, like Sangam. So there is a one record called N. Simply, that's it. It's nothing else. See, Fred Smith, Somo.
Again N is coming.
Okay, we will check in the database. That's a value in the database. Whatever is there in the database, it will fetch. It's not doing anything else. Oh, okay. So and again. Okay.
job.
Yeah, it is stuck again. Okay, number of records. Yeah, I'm here. It was stuck, man. The computer.
But he's not able to hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you right now. It is stuck. Okay. Now let us
see
finish.
that number N is coming every time.
Okay, let us check in the database. Don't worry.
Database that is not with this program.
That value, yeah.
Many times.
Who is this?
If you see the database, you can understand. Yeah, we have to see the
Gautam,
database.
can you hear me now? Are you calling me?
హలో గౌతమ్
సంగంకి మా మాట వినపడట్లేదు.
లేదు ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది
వాయిస్ కూడా బయటకు రావట్లేదు.
Okay, let me. Okay.
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుందా?
Hello.
ఫోన్లో వస్తుంది.
Hello, అది కట్ చేయి ఫోన్ కట్ చేయి. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, hold on. Just it's I think stuck. Hello. Can you hear me?
सुनने आ रहे उसका आवाज.
अरे फोन कट कर. हेलो
हाँ.
हेलो हेलो.
हाँ बोल.
क्या रे?
Sangam, you are remaining the earphones or something is happening. That's why.
Okay, what the fuck happened is it was connection was lost. Okay, that the program is done. Okay, so now let's move on to next program.
Sangam, can we see the database, Sangam?
Yeah, I'm going to database. Hold on. So where is the database location? So the database is stored locally, I told you, right? So let me go to the database. See test data flight 32 MDB. Okay, if I open any extra program, it will just stuck inside. I don't know. Hold on. When something goes off, just hold on. Okay.
Yeah, Sangam, that's why I called you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, see test data. Okay, so this is the database which is stored locally, so you can point it to actual database also. Okay, hold on again. Okay, so orders table we are trying to access, right? Okay, this is this N. So Somo, the send signature is N. This is the value you are seeing every record N. It's not coming from anywhere, it's coming from the database.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. So basically it's not our programmed N. The N we used is a small n, which is actually variable. So this is a string that is coming from the database itself. That's why I'm telling you. It's message box only. I put it on the database records and number of records and the total number of this thing. So that's it. Okay, so if everything that is a generic program, so which will work on any database, any table, any number of records, any SQL query, irrespective of whatever the value is, it should work. Okay, so now let me move on to parameterization, I think. Okay, let me open this. So after this I'll stop. So I'll stop the class at 10 o'clock sharp, so that you guys can sleep. Okay, here. Okay, so this particular database connection is over. Now we are going to go to parameterization versus parameter type. So parameterization is important in the any automation concept. So there are 4 types of parameterization. So what is a parameterization? First of all, parameterization is nothing but replacing sample data with a dynamic value, right? While recording you give some sample value, Sangam, Somo, Mercury or whatever. Now replacing that value with the value from the data pool, which is actually dynamic value. So that will be called the parameterization. There are 4 types of parameterizations. One is a test or action parameter, second is the data table parameter, third one is the random number parameter, fourth one is the environment parameter. That means these many ways we can parameterize, 4 ways. Most likely we will 90% of time we use first 2 and remaining 8% of time we use the third one, remaining 2% of time we use the fourth one. So first let us take a look at what is a test or action parameter. This already we know, we are just looking at the concept, we already used it. This is nothing but simple parameter of variable name. So normally you use it, right, in inside your program, descriptive program. So in the test or action parameter you simply replace the sample data with this particular string, whole thing. If you have Sangam, you just replace it by parameter of variable name. So far we have done this. So second one, data table parameter, we have already seen in the data driven test, right? If you have Sangam, username Sangam, you replace that value with data table of column name comma DT global sheet or DT local sheet. Either use DT global sheet or DT local sheet. So example would be dialog of login dot winedit agent name dot set. Now whatever you put here, this will be set. So here instead of putting a example Sangam or some value, I am putting a global dynamic value data table of column name DT global sheet. That means whatever the value or values are there in this particular column in the data table, it will be run on those values. That's why we call it as a data driven test. Hello. Third one is a new one, random number parameter. So basically, if you want to run some piece of code on random numbers from particular value to particular value, whose values will be generated randomly, then you have to use random number function. We will see this one also. Then environment variable is normally it's not used, like I told you, it's only used 1% or 2% of time. So that's I'll show you quickly later. So first of all, how do you parameterize this? Here you can see the example, right? Set Sangam or something here. Can you see? Is it is it visible, or should I increase the font? Can you see the screen now? Hello. Okay, so I think you are there. I'll just go on speaking. Okay, so here we want to use a random number. I already told you the first two methods. That means set Sangam, instead of Sangam you can say parameter of variable name, whose variables are somewhere. Second one is data table of, that was second. Third one, we are looking at the third one here. I want to use a random number instead of first two. So here random number, if you open the parameter options, you can select the random number option here, and in which you can actually set the from value and to value. So whatever the values are inside in between these two values, the whole program or whole line will be driven on. So here in this place set agent name, right? So just for the example I can put a random number 10 to 1000. So it will run how many times in this case? Whatever the number of numbers are there in between 10 and 1000, it will run those many times. Basically it's a kind of it's a random number, means it will take, it's not a data driven, it will take any value between these two values. So first time you run, it can take 11 random number, it will be set by 11. So next time you run the same program, it can take any random number but lying between these two numbers, it can take 999 too. So if you want to run couple of times, like 3 times, you can use a for loop for that one. So it will run 3 times, which is kind of data driven testing only, right? So in this, first time it will take 1001, second time it might take 2029, whichever value between randomly. So that's why you call it random number. So it will be run. Environment parameter is nothing but you want to use environment value. For example, your operating system name or your version of your operating system, blah blah blah. These are all called environment variables. If you want to use that particular parameter, then you can use this particular string, environment of variable name. So that is about the parameter types. We have already seen, it's nothing new. Any questions in the parameter types? So mind Gautam. Hello, I think they can. I can't hear you. What you have to do is you just switch to telephone and switch back to mic and speaker. That will refresh. Hello? Yeah, now you have to unmute or something. Okay, I think there are no questions. Okay, let me continue. Okay, I can't hear you at all. What you have to do is you have to switch to telephone, switch back to mic and speakers.
అట్లా చేసి చేసి అది పని చేసి ఆయనతో కూడా పని చేస్తలేదు.
Something problem with your earphones? No, I am not on earphone, I am on speaker.
అసలే పని చేస్తలేదు.
Hello? I can't hear you at all.
Sangam?
Now I can hear you.
Sangam, environment variable, can we parameterize browser also?
Yeah, environment variable we can parameterize browser or whatever. I think so. Let me see. Whatever the options are there, we can only use. Let us see that one. So all you have to do is you have to select that environment parameter type from this. Okay, let us go and do that. I'll show you the program. So basically you don't want to use this database connection, right? I have to open it different. Okay, so let me go to keyword driven. Alright. Okay, not keyword driven. We'll go to the different program. Oh, this is fine. Alright. Okay, I'll take this off. So here this is a parameter, right? We are passing some value, correct? Here instead of doing this you can pass something else. Okay, let's take a look at that. How do you do that?
Hello?
Hi. So in this data driver you have to click on the data driver first. Okay, now go.
Actually, we are unable to see that one.
Okay, now can you see? So if you go to tools option, there is option called data driver. So that will find out all the parameterizable values in your programming. So here the only value that can be parameterized is here 2000, which is basically weight properties number. So that's why it's only showing one. Okay, now no problem. So here you click on the parameterize and you have two options, step by step or parameterize all. Okay, if you want to go step by step, which is better, so click on next. Okay, so basically that is parameterized. Finish. Now see, it is parameterized with data table value. Whatever the data table value is there, it is just parameterized. So this is basically it is doing it because the database table already exists somewhere here. It exists and it just put a data driven testing. This is nothing but the second type of parameterizing, right? First type is parameter of, second type is data table of, but we are looking for the random number or environment variable. So let us try and find that. So I am going to put a sample value here, and all you have to do is click on the data driver here in the tools. automatically it finds, see 1000 value whatever I put. Just click on parameterize, say parameterize all. So this way you can find, actually select the parameter type. Now you select, click on this parameter options, can you see? Once you click on it, there you go. In here you see the data table, environment and random number. Okay, first of all data table I already have shown you. It's simple, data table of column name comma DT global sheet I already shown you. So let us take a look at the random number first, then I will go to that one. So random number, like I explained, if I want to enter any value between these two values 155 and 1000 randomly, and I am not concerned about, so all it does is it replaces the sample value with this particular string. Let me finish it. Okay, so see here, that means first time you run this program, it will take any value between these two values and pass it. That means it will wait for, it might wait for 156 seconds, it might wait for 156 milliseconds to 1000 seconds. Second time it will take any value randomly. So that is a basic purpose of this, using random. The name suggests, right? Random number means it takes some number randomly. If you want to run 3 times, just put a for loop. I already showed you. Now coming back to the environment variables, let us see. Now this 1000 you don't have, but just for the example I am showing you. So do the okay, once it is done I will close this laptop. Okay, now again the same thing, parameterize all, select this time you select random number. When you select data table, it always goes to the data table and enter some value and puts that data table. If data table has 1000 values, it will run 1000 times. Now random number we already seen, environment variable. So environment variable, whatever we have here, only we can use that. If we have the browser name, we can use that one too. So all we have is action iteration, action name, control host name, group name, local host name, operating system version, product directory, product name, product version, blah 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 blah. That's it. So basically we don't have the browser, so whatever there here we can only use that one. And guess what, you can also use regular expression if you want to, like we seen earlier. So for example, if you want to use the OS version, which is a number, which makes more sense in this case because OS version is a number I am taking. So once you click OK, then see automatically it replaces the sample value with environment of OS version. You will not be able to see that because it just passes that environment. So if you want to see that, what you have to do, you have to message box, right? So let us message box, see what happens. So I'm going to comment out simple message box I will use, so that you know exactly what is being written, right? So I want to return environment OS version. Okay, so here in this case I don't need this one, I am going to remove this. So simply I am going to message box the environment variable whose value is OS version. So OS version is 5.2.3790, right? So that's the value basically. So if you want to use a different environment value, environment parameter is same, but I am using different thing. So all you have to do is don't do anything. So simply this is the sample value. All you have to do is click on the data driver. Okay, now it doesn't show anything basically. So because these are not the actual valid parameterizable, its message box is not a valid parameterizable thing. So in this case what I have to do is I'll have to uncomment this one and here put some value, let's say 1. So automatically it figures out what is the actual parameterizable. See 11. Now parameterize all, click on this. Now whatever are there in, only you can use this. Like I said, if you want to use the value of operating system, let us say, okay. So that's value is Microsoft Windows 2003 server. We already it's all showing, but it will return that same thing. So it will replace the whole thing by environment of OS. If you are following, you will understand. So now I simply want to return message box this value. So let's see, so that you know this is just for the understanding, right? Okay. Now if I run this, what it will return? Microsoft Windows 2003. The test run cannot continue due to syntax error. Okay, what is the syntax error? What is the syntax error? There is an extra quotation right here. The quote should not be there. Okay. Okay. So the message box does not take quotes, we already know. So we put extra quotes. Now the syntax error is gone. So if I run it, it will return the value of operating system, which is a Microsoft Windows 2003 server. So simple. See, that is the basic purpose. Okay, so today I'm tired, so I'm going to end the session as promised. 10 o'clock. It's already 10:05. 5 minutes more. So tomorrow we will see the other chapters. So basically what is left is batch testing. I'll show you how to do the batch testing and everything. And what is left? And run action. So batch testing can be done in two ways. First one is normal, using the option in the QTP program itself, which comes as a part of it. Second one is run action. After that we will see the recovery scenarios, how to handle the exceptions and everything. So that is a pretty big concept. Once that is done, what else? We have transaction, how to insert the transactions, and how to debug, how to use the virtual objects, and take another example. And I think, yeah, that's it. So 2 more classes maximum. So after the QTP is done, I'll start SOAP UI for SOMO. So if you want to join, Gautam, you can also join, no problem. So after QTPs, after SO testing is done, there are other guys who want to join for Selenium also I'm going to start for there are 3 more persons who are going to join. So let us finish this QTP, and then most likely the what is that, SOAP UI will take maximum 5 to 10 classes, after which Selenium will take 10 to 20 classes or something. So okay, I will end this session here. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye.